Typing statistics is a utility whose task is to measure and analyze the typing parameters. It allows to intercept any text typed in any program and then analyze different characteristics of the keyboarding process. TS can be used for teaching touch typing, both full-time and by correspondence. Typing statistics provides a teacher with exhaustive information about how training of a certain student is going on. Now, a typist will type a text in the text writer, and simultaneously TS will log down the typing process. TS has logged down the whole typing process and we can analyze the results. This window displays the typed text. A part of the text is highlighted yellow. Similarly, this very fragment is highlighted on the graphs and reflected on the key graph. Here are the main statistical characteristics of the text, such as the size of the text, the typing time, the speed, the number of corrections, and many others. Here are the graphs of various typing characteristics. This is the table of pauses between key pressings and durations of key pressings for current piece of the text. Here is the key graph, or the clavigram. A key graph is a time diagram of all typing events. It allows us to examine the keyboarding features more clearly and thoroughly. A key graph is a time diagram of all typing events. During the touch typing, every key is always pressed by a definite finger. On the key graph, each key is displayed on the line corresponding to one of the fingers. The upper line corresponds to the left little finger, then comes the left ring finger, then the left middle finger, the left index finger, the right index finger, the right middle finger, the right fourth finger, the right little finger. The lower line displays the space bar and the keys not bound to any finger. At the top there is the time scale which fixes the time of an event from the beginning of typing. Using a key graph, you can study and analyze the keyboarding process in every detail. The keys pressed are shown as rectangles. On the key graph, you can see the moment when a key is pressed, how long it is kept pressed, and when it is released. For example, here we can see the moment of pressing of the key P, then pressing of the key A, releasing of the key P, releasing of the key A, and so on. Here you see that the keys are pressed with an overlap. The key A is pressed when the key P hasn't been released yet. The key A pressed with an overlap is colored in blue, and the overlap is highlighted dark in both the pressings. You can visually distinguish short abrupt pressings from long pressings, thus getting information about the typing technique. You can find out how much time is spent on every pressing and keeping a key pressed. For example, You see that the typist usually keeps the key shift pressed 3 times as long as the other keys, and the key backspace is pressed in a jerky way. It is kept pressed 25% a shorter time than the other keys. This is what the key graph of typing at a very high speed, about 1000 strokes per minute, looks like. You see a lot of overlapping. Nearly all the pressings are made when one or several previous keys aren't released yet. At this very moment, 4 keys are pressed simultaneously. The key pressed fourth is colored in red, and the third one in purple. Here, the graphs and histograms of various statistical characteristics are displayed. At the moment, just 2 graphs are displayed, of an average speed and an average rhythm, as well as an arrhythmia histogram. In fact, quite a few different graphs can be displayed simultaneously. TS makes it possible to build various graphs showing both the changing of the speed during typing and the changing of the average speed from the beginning of typing. On the graph average speed, you can quickly spot the moments of increasing and decreasing of the speed. Studying this point on the key graph, you can understand the reason for the phenomenon. For example, decreasing of the speed when typing word yesterday is caused by a long pause between striking the keys E and R. Using TS, you can analyze both the speed of the whole text and of a certain selected group, as well as of letter combinations. Here is the list of all the words of the given text in the order of increasing of the speed of the typing. You can spot any word and see where it is in the text, see the graphs at this point, as well as its typing key graph. You can see statistics on 2, 3 or 4 letter combinations, group similar ones, and afterwards work out average statistics. For example, in this text, the letter combination ER is used 3 times. It is typed with an average speed of 338 symbols per minute, but each time in a different way. We can also set various filters for forming statistics, which lead to a more specific and pinpoint analysis. Thus, setting the filter 1 off and entering the symbols W, S, X, you will only get those letter combinations which contain at least 1 symbol typed with the lettering finger. It's also possible to set filters on the basis of patterns. For example, this pattern picks out all the 2 symbol combinations in which the first symbol is typed with the left index finger and the second one with the right index finger. You can combine filters and patterns, setting complex criteria for the search of the data needed. The information received from the analysis of the data can be used for creating exercises for improving the typing skills and increasing the typing speed. Besides the typed text, TS also shows all the corrections done while typing. The deleted symbols are colored in red in the text, on the graphs and the key graph. On the basis of the corrections done while typing, TS works out several statistical characteristics, such as the number of corrections done, the number of series of corrections, several options for the evaluation of the typing speed considering the corrections. For example, this speed option is counted as an average speed for all the parts of the text typed without corrections. This statistical characteristic helps to evaluate at what speed the text could have been typed but for the errors made during the typing. This parameter is used for working out the characteristic losses on corrections, which helps to determine by how much the speed decreases because of the time spent on making errors and correcting them. On the key graph, one can analyze errors in every detail, as well as the reasons for making them and other drawbacks in the typing technique. For instance, this key graph shows that the keys U and Y are pressed almost simultaneously, while in the process of typing they are both struck with the right index finger. So we can presume that the typist makes a technical error. The finger gets between the keys U and Y and presses both the keys. Then the typist spots the error and tries to correct it, but instead of pressing backspace, he strikes the nearby key / several times. When the typist sees that, he deletes the erroneous enter striking backspace several times. As a result, it takes more than 2 seconds to spot the error and to correct it. Thus, studying the typing key graph, you can easily spot errors and determine the reasons for making them. As you see, analyzing the results introduced by TS, we can compose exercises for improving the quality of keyboarding. The whole typing process can be recorded and saved for a further analysis or for forwarding it to friends, colleagues, or your teacher. During a correspondence course, a combination of TS and a video provides complete information about a student. TS allows you to attach the video and review it later. By scrolling the key graph back and forth, you get a frame-to-frame playback. The current video frame displays the position corresponding to the left-hand position of the key graph. For example, you can see that in an instant, the left index finger is due to press the key T. Simultaneously, this very moment can be watched on the video. Scrolling the key graph with the mouse, you can watch the process of pressing the key. You see that the key I is pressed at the moment when the key M is not released yet. Here is this very moment on the video. The index finger presses the key M, the middle finger presses the key I, then the fingers rise successively, and at this moment the left hand continues keyboarding. Let's view another example. At this point in the text, U is followed by OI. However, the typist leaves out O and presses I instead. He spots the error quite quickly and corrects it. Further on in the text, there is another OI, and the typist repeats the error. The correction is done very quickly this time too, but after pressing backspace, quite a long pause follows. On the video, you can see that the typist loses the home row. At this point, you can see that as soon as his finger touches J, he manages to restore the position and continues typing. This example shows that the typist has difficulty with the combination OI. He is advised to do some more exercises on this combination. Later, the typing results can be analyzed by TS again. As you may see, the analysis with the help of a key graph can be useful for doing different research into keyboarding. It can give a lot of information for teaching keyboarding, especially by correspondence. On its basis, we can create exercises and control the whole teaching process.